Hey everybody, welcome back to Ferret Business. My name is Sandra Kilworth. I'm joined currently with Squeak. You're right, Squeak. Go on, say hi, give our viewership up. And there's a Pierre, but he is causing chaos. Hello. Hello, Chaos Boy. And also, yes, I have my hair up for cool clips, so that's why it looks like a pineapple right now. Before I get started, if you enjoy ferret art and business related content, please consider subscribing. And if you're interested, you can also unsubscribe. But I'm going to want to do that a lot more regularly now, so if you're at all interested, keep watching and subscribe. But today's video is one that I've been planning for a little while, and it's all about ferret scammers. So as with all communities on the internet, there are scammers, people out to get your money or get your information. And unfortunately, that's no different in the ferret community. We have the issue normally of people scamming you out of your money in terms of pretending to have ferrets for sale, you send a deposit, they go through. That is the most common type of scam in the ferret community. Yeah, why do you do this to me? Why? Not focused on him. So I went ahead and compiled a list of what to look out for with ferret scammers and these accounts, so you can figure out for yourself if it's a scam account or if it's a real account, what to look out for and how to protect yourself. For context, I actually got scammed by one of these people when I first tried to get ferret before Pierre. And I lost 50 quid. Obviously, you can lose a lot more to these people, but it was I paid like a deposit, and then I realised that it was a scam, and I lost my money. So great. So I wrote down all my things to look out for. So let's get into it. Number one is a generic name. So as in, this will be in terms of like a Facebook or Instagram account that's usually titled ferrets for sale, ferrets for adoption, ferrets for sale UK, something super generic like that. There won't be like a breeder name or a group name, it'll just be something really generic like that. That usually suggests that obviously they don't have a specific location and that they're just out to get anyone who's gullible enough to think that ferrets for sale is a legitimate person. Isn't that right? Sometimes they will use like other names and accounts. Sometimes it'll be like a page or just a person, but with either of those people, so if it's a person on social media, look out for how many posts and friends they have and when the page was made. So yeah, if it's a page and it was made fairly recently with limited photos, no contact information, no about information, ignore it, it's probably a scam. If it's an actual person, look up their name again to see if a duplicate comes up, in which case, dodgy, ignore it. Or if they have very little friends, no photos, again, no actual information about them, ignore it. If someone is planning on selling ferrets, especially for a living, they will have as much information there as possible. Yeah. Oh my god, he is being a right rat bag today. So yeah, and like I said, always double check the date when the page was made, what information is available and all that. When it comes to online adverts, obviously there's some websites that have adverts for animals for sale. They are usually more secure, but always ask to see the animal in person and for as many reference photos as possible and for contact information, and then you should be relatively safe. And when you're in touch with one of these people, if you're not entirely sure, maybe they've got like a regular name, but you're not entirely sure if you can trust them or not, one of the things to look out for is inconsistent photos. This is something that a lot of you reached out to me online and said that is actually an issue, is the scammers actually stealing other people's photos to use and saying, oh, these are the ferrets that are available. I know that multiple accounts again that have contacted me to say that they've had their photos stolen and taken and used by these for sale people to say that these ferrets are for sale when they're not, because they're not their ferrets. So I think being part of that community can help, because you can recognise that if you are getting in contact with someone, they send you a photo, say this is a ferret that's for sale, and you say, and you can recognise that it's from a different account. Obviously you know not to trust them. But with inconsistent photos, you're looking for things like different backgrounds, you know, does it look like two completely different houses, two completely different rooms or cages? Do the ferrets look different? They might send you multiple photos of like an albino ferret, but there might be some obvious differences or subtle differences. Different quality, does it look like it was taken with two different phones or two different cameras? Does it look edited? Things like that. I just want to make sure they look fairly consistent. And about photos, they often won't give you specific photos. If, say you ask for photos of their teeth and ears to see how healthy they are, if they're tidy and clean, they often won't, because they usually have stolen those photos from someone else, which means that obviously they can't give you those photos without having to go and find a photo of a ferret's teeth that looks very similar. You know, they don't have those photos available, so they can't give you those. Whereas a breeder or someone that's looking to sell their ferrets can do that, because they have a ferret, they can take a photo. It also includes siblings and parents. You know, it's good practice to ask to see, you know, what the parents are like and what the siblings are like. And again, if they can't do that, or they send photos of ferrets that look wildly different, be suspicious. And certain poses, you might ask to see them sort of upright, on the side, or from above to see like what their shape is like. Again, if they can't provide these specific photos of the same ferret, it's a no-go. Again, following sort of similar of this, they will refuse to let you see them in person. Sometimes they'll claim, oh, we're in this city that's like 50 miles away or 100 miles away, so you can't. But always ask where possible for contact information, whether it's just an email or phone number, something that isn't just their social media, so you have a way of contacting them should they go dark on social media. And also offers just extra level security. These scam accounts will rarely give out actual contact information, so you know, if they're unwilling to do that, and especially if they're unwilling to let you see the animal in person, because that's just good practice. I mean, obviously no one wants strangers coming into their home, but if you are selling an animal, you need to be prepared that people will want to see the animal first, because you want to make sure you're getting what you asked for. And oftentimes, because they won't let you see the ferret in person, they'll often say, like, oh, we're going to ship the ferret to you, we're going to post the ferret to you. But oh, we use this courier, you know, we get this person to deliver it to you. And so they'll sometimes ask for an extortionate shipping fee. They'll be like, oh, we're going to ship them in crates to you across the country. And that's ridiculous. No one would do that. And if someone is like if you are buying a ferret from someone and you're like, okay, can you bring to me? You know, that's fine, because that's what I did with Pierre. The lady I bought Pierre from brought him to me. However, it's the shipping costs, the postage fees, whatever they call it. It's when we start talking like that and we ask for money that you know it's an issue. And that's different to just, oh, can you cover the cost of petrol? It'd be like 10 quid. That's different. It's usually more worded specifically as a shipping deposit, postage fee, something like that. Okay, what else? So those are all the things to look out for, and of course just trust your gut. If you're messaging someone and they just seem shady, they seem like maybe they don't quite know what they're talking about, or the photos just don't look right, you know, it's fine to be suspicious, but trust your gut. As a whole, I would ignore social media accounts that are specifically like for sale or for adoption. They pop up all the time on Instagram and on Facebook. They're constantly there, and they constantly steal photos from other accounts to use. So just ignore them. If you're looking for if you want to buy a ferret and you're looking for a breeder, there is a list of reputable breeders that I will link below. I believe Furby the Ferret sent me on Instagram, but they credited, they said they found the list from Instagram and Reddit, I believe. No, Discord and Reddit. So credits to Discord and Reddit for the list, I'll link it below. And like I said, when you're looking for reputable breeders, you want to make sure that you can cross-reference, that makes sense, find people that have had ferrets from them to double check they are legitimate. Again, if they're not giving you any specific information, Or look up the same name and see if there's a duplicate. Sometimes they'll scam us for copy a page, so that people will mistake them for the real thing and then will go to them. And it often ruins the actual breeder's reputation, so that's always fun and great. And again, with like pages of actual breeders that have been copied, again, check the date when the page was made. You can find that, especially on Facebook, to double check, see if this is like made in the last week. If so, no, don't trust it. The best way to avoid all these issues is to adopt from a rescue. There are plenty of rescues in the UK and in the US. But obviously some people want a baby ferret and the kit, that's fine. But the best way to avoid all these, you know, seller scammer issues is to go via an adoption route, so the RSPCA or more independent rescue. You know, those are the best options. However, like I said, follow all the tips that I've mentioned and you should be able to dictate if someone is a scam account or not. Generally, don't pay deposits up front, and if you do, make sure it's done securely. So the mistake that I made when I got caught out by a scammer is the fact that I paid a deposit of £50, and they wanted me to pay it through PayPal, friends and family. If you don't know, PayPal is a way you can transfer money to people, and there's different ways of doing it. If you're just paying money to friends and family, they get the money instantly and you can't get a refund. As in, if something goes wrong, PayPal can't give you the refund because you did it like trust. Essentially, friends and family is only for people you 100% trust and you know would give you the money back if needed. They were saying, obviously, if you don't do friends and family, you're essentially paying for a product, which means that there is a fee for the buyer, not buyer, for the seller. So in this case, for the scammer, and it means that they don't get the money for a certain amount of time, and it means, again, you can complain if you don't get the product you want, you can complain and you can get the money back. So obviously I messed up there. I realised after I paid money it was a total scam. I tried to message them to get the money back. I tried to message PayPal, but they said, well, you did friends and family, so we can't help you. And I never got the money back. And I never told my parents because at the time I was living with them and I didn't want them to think that I was an idiot, which I kind of was. I should have trusted my gut, I did not. Ultimately, joining these online communities like on Instagram and Facebook or Reddit or Discord is a really good way to, one, gain access to tons of reputable breeders and rescues and legitimate people, like even not necessarily the breeders, but people even that have ferrets and accidentally have kits now and just need to get rid of them. You can get access to all these people, and they will usually often give you the correct advice, you know, they'll do things the correct way. But with online communities you get people stealing everyone's photos, everyone's videos and content, and it means it can be quite hard to tell if someone's legitimate or not. Some of these scam accounts look like real people or real businesses and breeders that have just straight up stolen other people's content. There's the Townhouse Ferrets on Instagram told me about how there's a fake account that was using their photos just straight up, and obviously they are worried because they don't want people to think that that's them, they're scamming people. And it hurts and damages real people's like lives and sorry, I have hiccups. It damages real people's lives and reputations, and it's just a really awful thing to do, really. All for the sake of money, because obviously ferrets are expensive. Even if you adopt, there's often an adoption fee of like £50 to £60. So ferrets are expensive, so they can get away with asking for £50 deposits or £200 plus shipping. You know, they can afford to do that. And some people are desperate and they will do that, or maybe it is the cheaper option and will still do it. Essentially, there's a number of reasons why someone might approach an account that maybe doesn't look 100% secure, and there's tons of reasons why these scammers approach everyone else. They often try to join bigger groups like Ferrets UK on Facebook. They often try to sneak in there, or they might pop up on your recommended. Just ignore them, do not engage, because 9 times out of 10 they are not real accounts. They've stolen photos and they're just not worth it. But the bottom line is, you know, check the details. Will they let you see the ferrets? Do the photos look not right? Was the page made a week ago? Is there no contact information? And again, trust your gut. But that is all for today. Let me know what your thoughts are, and if you've had the experience of a scammer yourself, let me know in the comments. I'd be very interested. I might do like a story time video about like everyone else's experiences with scammers, or encountering their own photos being used, because a lot of people are showing me those on Facebook, Instagram. Again, I'll leave a link to a list of breeders down below. Credit to Discord and Reddit communities for that. And if you're at all interested in this content, please subscribe for more videos. Alright, Kian, want to come say hi before finishing the video? Good boy. And thank you for 56 subscribers as I'm recording this video. Oh, hello. Gorgeous. Yeah? Okay, that is all for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!